Well, this is just going to be a launch of a comm satellite using remote tech, and I have Ferrum Aerospace on, so I just think it's a nice looking rocket. We're going to launch it up into geosynchronous orbit. Alright, we won't need full throttle here. I just think it's a pretty rocket. It's very nice looking. I like Ferrum Aerospace and how you can use the fairings, and it just makes everything look really nice. Makes it feel more realistic to play the game. Remote tech is nice too. It forces you to keep connections to your rockets that don't have Kerbals inside. Turning the wrong way. Oh, turning the wrong way again. Oh, 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 oh. Ah. Well, that's no good. Let's try that again. Ferrum Aerospace also makes it hard to control aerodynamics. So I turned it too quick because I wasn't sure which angle I was turning at. So W, that's what I have to remind me. You need to start gravity turns a lot sooner with Ferrum Aerospace. You can't wait until like 6,000 or 7,000, and if you can, then I don't know how to do it right. And you have to do it very gently, or else your rockets will just force your rockets and air resistance will just force you over. What I try to do is end up close to 45 degrees at, a little over 10. I'm already at 10,000, so I'm not doing a great job, but it'll tip over pretty quick. I'm not going that fast. Whoa! Didn't happen last time. I'd have to add some separatrons on that. I'm going to bring it up to an orbit of around 150 or 200. and then we'll circularize there. I want to be nice and high so I have time to be in sight of home base, because remote tech, it's good to have a sight line to do all your stuff in case you screw up one of the connections to the other satellites. When I zoom out, you can see the other communication satellites I have in place already. I have 3 kind of normal ones, and then this is the second deep space one that I'm getting put in place. I'll circularize, and then I'll bring it out to geosynchronous orbit here. Oh, switched quick. There. All right. So now we're above the atmosphere. We can open this up, extend the solar panels and the antennas. So you need a lot of antennas. So I'm going to set this to mission control, long range antenna to the one that I was using before. Set this one to that. This one to that. This one will set to the one that's out of sight, just in case that's where I end up. This is the big antenna that I'll open up once I'm in a nice geosynchronous orbit. So this up here is the delay in the signal, so 0.001 second delay in the signal back from mission control. That is not enough to really notice. Once you get further out, like the moon and stuff like that, that's when it'll be noticeable. So I'm looking into like KOS and other things to control the ship autonomously when you're out that far. So I'm just bringing it up and I'm going to circularize. I think in real life you probably wouldn't have solar panels out when you're accelerating, but that seems to be fine in Kerbal. So I want this deep space satellite to orbit basically on the other side of the planet from the other deep space satellite to get kind of good range. Maybe I'll have 3 up eventually. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. All right, circular enough. So I'm going to set the target to my other deep space satellite, which is this one. That's close enough on plane, because it doesn't need to be exactly on plane. It just should be in another stable orbit. Now, maybe I'll make it like 1/3 of the way around, so we'll see where this puts us. I can extend out in the planning section, and then you can see this is where the target would be if I ended up there. So that is not a bad place. That's almost 1/3. So I might try that. The only problem with it there, oh, I'm on the other side of the sun. This thing doesn't actually have enough batteries to go behind the sun for very long, so I might move this to be like that, just so I'm in the sun. Okay. So, and then we're going to, we'll just align the target here. I still don't do a good job cleaning up my space junk. I just end up going into the Space Center and deleting it, which is probably cheating, but you know, whatever. I'm not good enough at planning yet to get rid of it all. So you can see now that I'm on this side, I'll have different connections. So you see I'm connected to this satellite, which is connected to mission control. So instead of connecting directly, because I'm on the other side of the planet, and that's why I had to set all those antennas up properly. Okay, almost there. Doesn't really need to be perfect. And the goal is to get this out to 286.875. So once we get close, I'm going to switch and and reduce the maximum thrust here. So we're close. I'm going to reduce the maximum thrust so I can be more precise. And then I'm also going to clear the target. Cleans up the look here. I'm going to get rid of that too. 286.875. 286. That is pretty close. Okay, and then we'll plan another burn on that side, which will bring the other side to hopefully that same number. I still have a lot of fuel left. In my other flights, I did not have this extra rocket. Maybe we should just ditch that. I don't want to have that hanging around. I'll ditch it once I start accelerating on the other side. So you can see I have a couple of things around the moon too. I'm trying to set up comm satellites around the moon so that I can do a good moon landing and I have coverage. Some people do I saw some really great slick images online of people and their comm satellite connections. It's just really impressive. Okay, we're just going to ditch this because I have plenty of fuel. Here's where it gets tricky. So you can see that now my apoapsis is higher than 7.5. So I want to just angle in a tiny bit. In a tiny bit. We're going to try to keep that apoapsis right on us. Oh, wrong way. I want to angle out maybe. Too much. See, you have to be really delicate. But if you do it right, you can get it pretty darn close enough. That's for my purposes. 2.8. I'll stop there and get rid of that. Target. See, now I need to angle more. Bring it back. I see. Come on. Then this is just tweaking, trying to get it right without having to go all the way around. We are super close. 2868. 2868. Man, that's good. That's good. Okay, we're gonna call that good. Now, for the grand finale, we'll open up a nice big comm antenna. Look at that. That probably blocks all my solar panels. Look at that. We'll set this guy to active vessel. Alright. Here we go. So there's my comm network so far. 2 deep space ones. One here. One here. Oh, I mean over here. So I'm going to set this one to Deep Space Con 2. And then maybe I'll put a third one over here somewhere. We'll rename it. It's always helpful to rename these things. And that should get us through the solar system.